Good morning, friends. Today we will try to deal with one poem, The Second Coming. No, it's after a long break. Okay, and I hope all of you are safe in your places and doing your studies. So this kind of pandemics have completely restructured our life, even though leave that. So today we will I'll in this some of the classes I'll try to cover some important poems and some literary criticism part. Today I think about I try to talk about this poem by W.B. Yeats, The Second Coming. W.B. Yeats is an Irish poet, means he belonged to Ireland, written in English language, and he is very much associated with the nationalist movement of Ireland and also the establishment of Irish theatre, or Theatre of Abbey in 1904, and that theatre got fired in 1951. So he has written some of the dramas and poetry, and is very much familiar to Indians, as he has written the introduction or preface to the first edition of Gitanjali by Rabindranath Tagore. And he believed in mythologies, and mythology and symbolicism was an important element of his poems, right? For example, a staircase, a tower, and these are some of the well-known imageries in W.B. Yeats' poetry. And one thing is love with Maud Gonne, a lady he was madly in love with, but she refused him finally. So this sense of rejection has been reflected in many of his poems. For example, even he's writing about Irish Revolution, the Easter 1916, his poem Easter 1916, which is about Irish nationalist movement. There also there is a reflection about his love and his prayer for my daughter. That is also his praying, is offering a prayer for the sake of his daughter, and trying to not to compare her with the other people, other ladies, like other arrogant ladies, like arrogant quote unquote, like Maud Gonne. So these are and there are some other key biographical informations, like he born in 1865 and 1939 he died, and 1923 he got Nobel Prize. I guess this poem has been published in 1920 something, around that time. So we'll try to read the poem. The title, The Second Coming. This poem is important because many of the writers have taken the title of their novels and books from this poem. As some of you have heard about Chinua Achebe. Chinua Achebe is an African writer. His famous novel Things Fall Apart, where he's talking about the collapse of tradition in Africa. He belonged to some particular country. I forgot the name of that country. So Chinua Achebe's work is also title from this poem, Things Fall Apart. And many other writers they have taken their title. So here we are dealing with this poem. What happened to my the name Second Coming is actually taken from Bible. In biblical literature there are two kinds of actually the second coming is second coming of the Jesus, and there is also reference to the second coming of some kind of a beast, and that they are coming and spreading a lot of destruction and trauma among the people. That is also there. So turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart, the sender cannot halt. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and every word ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack of all convictions by the... And actually he has written this poem in the context of World War I. World War I, as you all of you know, in 1914, right? 1914 to 1918, has spread a lot of destruction and sense of, disappointment in the people, especially in the European civilization, right? So here, turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Means turning and turning in the widening gyre. Widening gyre means widening circle. A falcon, he's talking about a bird, falcon. Falcon is a bird traditionally used to hunt something. They will send the bird to some lawn. So here the falcon, that bird is turning and turning around. That is floating in the sky. That is flying in the sky. Turn means, to move around, right? Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the large, widening means wide gyre, that wide circle. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. There are two people. One is a guy who is sending a falcon, who is using a bird to catch his hunt, to catch his prey. That is falconer, the owner of the bird. And also, there is another is falcon. Falcon is that bird. So there is a bird and the human authority of that bird. So that bird is turning away from, going away from his falconer, from his, owner. And the falcon cannot hear the falconer. They are here means not in the clear exact meaning of, literal hearing, but, they don't have any communication in between them. Their connection has been lost. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. Things fall apart means, everything has been collapsed. No system. Everything has been completely ruined. Things fall apart. Center cannot hold. Center, the source of authority, the source of management, the source of, means the authority where everything is controlled by, means there is no a sense of controlling. There is no system as such. Things fall apart. Things have been completely collapsed. Center cannot hold. The ruling authority, they don't have authority. Everything is, in a messy kind of collapsed situation. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Mere anarchy. Anarchy means, the situation where there is no any specific genuine authority to rule over. Means everyone can claim there is no system. There is no one to question. There is no one to implement the system. That is what is mere anarchy. It's the opposite of monarchy. Monarchy means where is one guy who is, means one person who is ruling. That is monarchy. But anarchy is there is no person to control or to government or to administer things. So mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Means it is loosed upon the world. That is complete anarchy. The blood-dimmed tide is loose. The blood-dimmed tide. There is a tide. Tide means the movement of, actually tide is for, the tide is something that is coming from the water, from the sea. But here he is using the tide in order to express the movement of history, the course of history, right? The blood dimmed. Dimmed means, dim, something, the lack of light, in the vehicle, in the bike also you have, dim and bright. Dim means lack of light, where you are, once you are facing another vehicle, you are just, dim your, this light, right? So just like that, here, a blood dimmed history, a history which has lost its, aura, which has lost its, which has lost its, what is that called? Sorry, I'm having some kind of distractions. Sorry for that. So mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drawn. Blood-dimmed tide means the blood-stained course of history, means that is denoting the World War I, where a lot of bloodshed happened, a lot of people were killed, right, for the, for different reasons of nationalities and other things arise. A lot of people, got killed. So that's why blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drawn. The ceremony of innocence. Ceremony means here the ritual, the practice. The people had a lot of, actually AIDS is a kind of a guy who believed in certain, ceremonies and rituals. He's not a kind of a modernist that, he's actually a modernist, but not the typical modernist to reject all these kind of, ritualistic practice. If you ritual sometimes help you to manage your feeling, to associate yourself with the some kind of, mythology. So he's somebody who find meaning in myths and mythology, right? So here the ceremony of innocence, the innocent ceremony, the innocent practices in the society, the religious practices and other social practices is drowned. Is drowned means has been vanished. Now that is a thing of past. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. The best thing, the good thing, they lack all conviction. They don't have any conviction, any kind of consistency, any kind of understanding. There is no a future for goodness. There is no, means the best things are always, that doesn't have any position or any stand in the society. Good is no more required by the people. Okay, nobody wants a right regular system or good old traditions and practices. But while the worst activities, the bad activities are full of passionate intensity. They are in complete intensive mood. Intensive means very stronger in their passion. Means the bad is full of energy, full of passion, but at the same time good lacks all kinds of convictions. Okay, I want we have one more stanza I think that we will do tomorrow. Today I'll just try to repeat this thing if you want. Yeah. Turning and turning in the widening jade, the falcon cannot hear the falconer, things fall apart. Turning and turning, moving and moving in the widening circle, in the large circle, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. The falcon, the bird falcon, which is used to send to catch the prey, to catch or the hunt the small kind of animals, to give information about this animals, that cannot listen to his master. There is this master slave relationship, the master or employee relationship, that has been completely collapsed. Okay, so there is no, this falcon and falconer is a reference to the traditional system of relationship or authority in the society. That tradition has been completely vanished, and things fall apart. Things fall apart. Things means subcheese. Every system, every kind of rituals, every kind of practices, okay, everything is under attack. Okay, they have been completely destroyed. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. There is no any centralized authority to hold, to control and to administer, to manage. These kind of authorities have been vanished, and only anarchy, mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The only anarchy, lack of system, lack of a ruler, lack of discipline, okay, that is there in the world. Means in the World War, the time of World War, there was no human system existing. Means everybody, there was a kind of chaos, not discipline, a situation of chaos, a chaotic turnout of the world. The ceremony of innocence is drowned, and the blood-dimmed tide is loose. The history, those chapters of history has been loosed with full of bloodshed, with full of killing and massacre, right? So, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. Drowned means somebody fell in the water and died. So the ceremony of innocence, the the innocent traditional ritualistic practices, religious or non-religious practices, has completely drowned, completely disappeared. And no one needs, the best lack all conviction. People doesn't need best thing. Best lacks all kind of conviction, all kind of sense of consistency. Okay, it doesn't have any demand. Best is no more demanded, good things are no more demanded, while the worst are full of passionate in the worst thing, something that is bad, okay, that is in its full youth, full energy. It is passionate intensity. In passionate intensity means very stronger. Okay, so this is the overall idea of is talking about in the first stanza. So now we will come to know the second stanza next class, because I know in this kind of online exercises your attention span is very short, and so try to read it, and yeah, and if you have any doubts you can ask me, right?